Hi.
Hi.
So today basically I wanted to discuss the benefit of using two camera setup
Right.
in any corporate film, especially when we do interviews,
Right. Correct.
because no corporate film is complete without interviews. Okay. Now, if you use one camera setup, certainly you can make the final project, and nobody will question that why didn't you use second camera. But if you use second camera, certainly your content will be more appreciated, and your client will be more happy, and the people who gave the interviews.
Right.
So let's go step by step. What are the benefits? So number one, it gives more visual appearance, more visual appeal, and the content becomes more interactive, and more emotions you are able to show, and it becomes overall attractive and dynamic.
Right. So it's like if we'll go with a one camera setup, that will be a static and monotonous shot. So to give that variety, if we use two camera angle setup, it is more visually appealing to the viewer.
Correct. Now, on the second most important benefit of using two camera setup is it helps you in the edit. The editing part becomes more easy and more creative. Now, why? Because first of all, if the client gets stuck at some point, or he is not able to continue things properly, or he moves too much, so then you have the second shot and you can attach that, and you can have a seamless edit.
Yeah, it will be a continue. So to maintain continuity, we can use the second angle. If there's a fumble, or if the interview has taken a longer pause, so rather than we continue with the main single shot, we can have a side angle shot, or vice versa, whatever
yeah
you're using.
yeah so it becomes seamless, plus it's a backup track, and you can edit safely. If there's a problem, you can use the second frame and make it seamless. Okay.
Right.
And also you can apply more creativity. You can decide when to use the wide shot, when to use the side angle, the close-up angle, and with the help of two choices, you can make more creative content. Right. So now the third thing, Vidushi, will you can
So taking this point forward, like we have the two angle and to emphasize on things, so we can emphasize on key points of the interview. So whenever you want to emphasize on a certain line, certain phrase, or certain services you are talking about, so you can use a close-up shot with which captures your emotions, your facial expressions, and it creates more engagement with the viewer.
Correct.
We can certainly we can use this technique to emphasize more on the key points of the video.
Yeah, for example, the CEO is talking about the company, the introduction, the journey, and then when he talks about the challenges they face in the industry, you can focus on the close-up shot. Then you can grab more facial expressions, or probably he talks about the vision in the next 10 years. Then it's important thing where the company is going to go in 10 years down the line. So you can have a side angle close up with more expression. So you can play what is important. If something is important with branding, you can keep the front angle. If something you think that it requires more facial expression, you can have
a close-up shot.
Yeah, so based on the importance and priority, you can choose between those, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So the next important point is, you want to go with the two camera setup, but then you have to also consider you have to consider what is the site location. So that is, practical considerations we can sum up with. So
Yeah.
if you want to go with a 2 camera angle setup, then you have to have a ample amount of space for both the
Correct.
cameras,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
Also, you have to have the same set of settings for both the cameras, so that consistent lighting is there, the sound is should be consistent, so that
Yeah.
in the while editing, the editing should be seamless.
Correct, correct. So basic thing is, let's say, there's a company and the boss sits in a very small cabin. So in a very small cabin, probably you cannot have 2 camera setup.
Right.
So you have to move him to some other boardroom or some other interesting area where you have space for 2 tripods, 2 DOPs.
And
the lighting and everything.
Yeah.
So space is very important. I think for a 2 camera setup, at least 15 by 12 feet of space you need. Minimum, at least. Bigger, it's better.
Yeah.
Right. And that you need to decide, and also you need to see what type of lenses you have. Okay. So for the front angle, at least you should have something between 20 mm to 24 mm, a wide for the
Right.
front. If you have little bit more spacing in the front, then you can also play with 35 40 mm. Okay. And try to use prime lenses, because the sharpness you cannot get with zoom lenses. And for side angle, you can use a 55 mm or 85 mm telephoto. Okay, if you have good space, you can probably use 135 as well. Okay, so a tight shot you need to take, right? So I think
space is the main main criteria for having a multicam setup.
Correct,
right?
correct. So now, it's totally up to you. You want to up your game, you want to add more value to the content, then short, you need to take, 2 angles at least.
Right.
Yeah.
So these are our insights for the 2 camera
Yeah.
setup, and hope you'll have a more creative hands on on this technique. By using this technique, you can create more engaging content for your client.
Correct. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's all for today. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.